first thing I did after summoning the Holy Angel was put her up for auction for 100 million dragon coins, then go train a lowly, dirty bug. All 1 billion people in the school laughed at me for being an idiot. But little did they know, I possess the true eye that can see through all familiars' true forms. Yet during the summoning ritual, after summoning the Platinum Rank 2 Holy Angel, she actually refused to form a contract with me in front of everyone. Seeing the schadenfreude on everyone's faces below, I shouted out loud right away, "Check it out, take a look! Initial familiar fire sale. Platinum Rank 2 Holy Angel for only 100 million dragon coins. Don't miss out while passing by." Elena's face turned deathly pale in an instant. A noble holy angel like her was actually being peddled as goods in public. This shabby human, shouldn't he be begging her to form a contract? Why didn't he hesitate at all, and just wanted to sell her off immediately? Principal Lee was the first to react. He brought a young boy and rushed up to the stage right away. "There's 100 million dragon coins in this card. Password is 66. Afraid I might back out." He pulled out a black card and stuffed it to me. His movements were smooth and effortless, not the least bit elderly and infirm. The system also sent a notification, obtained initial familiar Zerg race. System exclusive ability, devour and evolve. Only needs to devour the most ordinary materials to evolve, and consumes 80% less resources. The exclusive Zerg race has unlimited growth potential. My hand holding the black card froze for a moment. System exclusive Zerg race. Is it the Zerg race I'm thinking of? With a wave of my hand, a sea of bugs covers the sky. Under the endless bug tide, all beings are equal. One of the strongest races in existence. And if I remember correctly, the Zerg Queen has a curvy figure, and is a real beauty who can even do backflips, right? After the transaction was completed, I left without looking back. As I walked, I looked at the silver familiar token in my hand. Before a familiar is summoned, it exists in the form of a token. Summoning the first familiar requires no consumption at all, but each subsequent familiar summoning requires specific materials. Seeing that the Zerg race rewarded by the system only had silver quality, I tightened my grip on the token. Familiar ranks from lowest to highest are bronze, silver, gold, platinum, monarch, mythic. Each rank is further divided into 1 to 10 tiers from lowest to highest. If it's the Zerg race, I remember, it should be at least mythic rank 10. How could it only be silver? Thinking of this, I hurried back to my rental apartment. Following what I learned from books, I bit my finger and dripped blood onto the Zerg token. In the next moment, a white light flashed. A half-meter-long, jet-black winged ant appeared in the room. Familiar giant jaw worker ant. Contract Lord Chenluo. Race, Zerg. Talent, silver rank 3. Strength, bronze rank 1. Skill, powerful pincers. Materials needed for divine power evolution. 3 tons of silver-grade flesh and blood. Can evolve into gold rank 2 Zerg Queen. I patted her on the head. "From today on, your name is Iris." Iris opened and closed her mandibles, as if very satisfied with the name. I took out my phone and quickly found silver-grade flesh and blood online. Without hesitation, I ordered 3 tons right away. I wondered if the materials needed to summon Zerg would be hard to get. Officially, summoning familiars requires entering the Lord's origin realm, activating the Lord core, and becoming a true Lord first. For now, I can only summon 1, without any consumption through the contract. Soon enough, the 3 tons of silver-grade flesh and blood were delivered to my door. I took Iris out immediately and pointed at the mountain of flesh and blood. "Go eat." Receiving the order, Iris rushed straight into the pile of flesh and blood and started gobbling it up. She ate extremely fast, and her stomach was like a bottomless pit. It only took more than 10 minutes for the mountain of flesh and blood to disappear without a trace. As soon as she swallowed the last piece of meat, a golden light suddenly emanated from her body. When she opened her eyes again, the giant jaw worker Aunt Iris was gone. In her place was a worm-like creature, looking just like a hairless caterpillar. I blinked in confusion. This is the Zerg Queen? She's nothing like what I imagined. Shouldn't the Zerg Queen be wearing leather clothes and black pants, and be a beautiful woman who can do backflips? How did she turn into a maggot? I checked Iris's status again. Familiar, Iris. Special form Zerg Hive. Strength, none contract. Lord, Chenluo race, Zerg Queen. Talent, gold rank 2. Strength, bronze rank 3. Skills, giant jaw worker, Ant incubation. Blade mantis incubation. Hydraulic incubation. However, all can only be used when the hive form is activated. Materials needed for evolution. 1 gold-grade core. 10 tons of gold-grade flesh and blood. Can evolve into gold rank 8 Zerg queen. After reading this, I couldn't help but clench my fists in excitement. The Zerg are still the same Zerg. They can feed on war and endlessly spawn troops. A gold-grade core requires killing a gold-grade alien beast or a gold-grade lord. You can't buy it on the market either. 10 tons of gold-grade flesh and blood is easy to get though, but without the core, only flesh and blood. Evolution is impossible. I still have to wait until tomorrow to enter the Lord's origin realm and activate the Lord core first. Thinking of this, I waved my sleeve and put Iris away, then turned and walked back to the rental apartment. Just as I was about to enter the door, I heard the sound of a door opening next door. A small head poked timidly out from the door, revealing a delicate girl wearing a school uniform with a high ponytail and a refined appearance. Brother Luo, you're back! What's your initial familiar? Brother Luo's initial familiar must be super powerful. With just one glance, I recalled who this person was from my memories. Lin Luoxiu, the school beauty of Linjiang No. 1 High School. Her parents passed away early, and she lives with her grandfather. She's 1 year younger than me. After moving here 8 years ago, we grew up like childhood sweethearts. A very cheerful and lovely girl. You'll be in for a big surprise. When you see my familiar later, I didn't summon Iris, afraid of scaring Lin Luoxiu. No matter how mature she is, she's still just a 16-year-old girl. I didn't want to traumatize her. Brother Luo, you big meanie! You won't let Luoxiu see it. Lin Luoxiu pouted angrily and made a face, then ran back into the house. After a short while, she ran back again, holding a boiled egg in her hand. She handed the egg to me and looked up, pretending to be arrogant. Don't worry, Brother Luo. Even if you didn't summon a good familiar, Luoxiu can support you. When Luoxiu summons her familiar next year and officially becomes a lord, I'll take you to soar. I, Lin Luoxiu, will definitely summon an extremely powerful familiar, at least silver grade. The little girl patted her chest with a "I'll cover you" expression, holding the still warm boiled egg in my hand. Waves of warmth surged in my heart. I knew Lin Luoxiu's family situation well. Her grandfather was seriously ill, and they relied entirely on her scholarship to get by. A boiled egg might seem trivial, but neither Lin Luoxiu nor her grandfather were willing to eat it. Obviously, she had saved it from her school cafeteria meal, soaked it in warm water, and waited for me to come back, wanting to celebrate me summoning my initial familiar today. The gift was light, but the affection behind it was profound. I peeled the egg and ate the egg white, then handed the yolk to Lin Luoxiu, who was salivating. Your brother only eats egg white. Lin Luoxiu snatched the yolk and popped it into her mouth, rolled her eyes in feigned annoyance. So picky? Though she said that, she knew I did it on purpose. Before she knew it, her eyes were starting to redden. I ruffled her hair. You called me brother, so from now on, brother will take care of you. As I spoke, I pulled out a few hundred dragon coin bills and stuffed them into her hand as she stared in surprise. From what I knew about her, if I gave her tens of thousands directly, she'd definitely refuse, and even feel insulted. A few hundred wen, though, I could force on her with some excuse, but most likely she wouldn't spend it. Instead, she'd save it quietly and find a chance to return it to me. Once your brother makes it big, I'll treat you to the finest food and drinks. No more tough times for us, not giving her a chance to refuse. I ruffled her hair again and walked inside, leaving Lin Luoxiu alone, standing there dumbfounded with the few hundred dragon coin bills in her hand. The next day on No. 1 High School's playground, young Master Li's initial familiar is a gold rank 3 griffin, and he also contracted a platinum grade holy angel. In this Lord's Origin Realm trial, young Master Li will definitely make the rankings. Make the rankings? That's an understatement. Young Master Li will definitely get 50,000 points and rank in the top 10, and be trained as a national priority. The flattery around him put Li Hao in a great mood. Elena, standing behind him, also held her head high, relishing all the admiration. I wonder what initial familiar Chen Luo contracted. What could it be? What initial familiar could be better than a platinum-grade holy angel? True, Chen Luo is such an idiot. Throwing away a bright future for nothing, a commotion broke out in the crowd, and the whispers reached Li Hao and Elena's ears. They both turned their heads and saw me standing not far away, holding a pancake in one hand and soybean milk in the other, looking so relaxed and leisurely, as if I hadn't heard all the sarcastic remarks around me. Li Hao sneered contemptuously and walked toward me with Elena. I heard you contracted a silver rank 3 Zerg as your initial familiar. It suits you well. You're both bugs that can be crushed at will. His voice was filled with undisguised sarcasm. Everyone around laughed along when they heard this. Elena looked at me with disappointment. You were so resolute back then? I thought you had a better choice. I never imagined. The one you'd end up contracting would be such a lowly, dirty bug. These 2 sentences left me confused. Wasn't it her who refused to form the contract back then? Why was she acting like a jilted lover? I slowly swallowed the pancake. Bitch and dog go together forever. You two are truly made for each other. As soon as I said that, everyone stared at me in disbelief. How dare he call Li Hao and Elena a bitch and a dog? The Li family held absolute power in Linjiang City. Wasn't he afraid of retaliation for offending them? You're Cao Si! Li Hao gritted his teeth so hard they creaked. Elena's face also turned livid, her hand trembling as she gripped her holy sword. A noble holy angel, being called a bitch? Just then, a majestic voice boomed out. Silence! A terrifying pressure swept across the playground. Elena had just raised her sword, when she was instantly suppressed. Don't get complacent. After the Lord's Origin Realm trial, when we enter the outer domain battlefield, I'll find 100 ways to make you die a horrible death. Li Hao's voice was filled with hatred. Hearing that, my expression turned cold. We'll see who ends up dying a horrible death. In the Lord's Origin Realm, each of you will receive a Lord Core. Once activated, you can expand your territory. You'll need to stay there for a month. During this month, alien beasts will attack your city. You must cooperate with your familiars to defend and upgrade your territory. Every time you successfully defend against an alien beast attack, you'll receive generous rewards. If your Lord Core shatters, you'll be teleported out of the Lord's Origin Realm and will never have the chance to become a Lord again. Go build your own territories. Become the strongest Lord. As the majestic voice faded, the formation on the playground suddenly lit up brightly. Gear-like formation patterns began to rotate. Gradually, the entire playground's formation started operating. On the top floor of the teaching building, Lin Luoxiu watched everything on the playground, her hands clasped together, praying silently in her heart. She didn't hope for Chenlo to make a spectacular debut or make the rankings. She only wished he could stay safe. In the next moment, I felt a dizzying spin. When I opened my eyes again, I was no longer on the playground, but in a forest where the trees were tens of meters tall. Even the thinnest ones needed 3 adults to wrap their arms around. Is this the Lord's Origin Realm? The air is so fresh. I glanced around a few times, but had no desire to wander. The Lord's Origin Realm is filled with countless monsters. Upon entering, one should immediately activate the Lord Core and expand their territory. As long as the territory is expanded, you'll get a 1-day newbie protection period. During the protection period, as long as you stay within the territory, you'll be able to resist monster attacks, drip blood to bind with the core and expand the territory. Following the process I learned from books, I bit my still unhealed finger and dripped blood onto the circular stone in my hand. This was exactly the Lord Core. Everyone who entered the Lord's Origin Realm would receive one of these. As the blood dripped, the Lord Core floated into the air, emitting a bronze glow, centered on me. It covered a 10-meter radius around me. A dilapidated wooden house appeared out of nowhere. The Lord Core flew into the house and hovered quietly in the middle, motionless. Lord Chenlo Territory. Level Bronze Rank 1. Building Dilapidated Wooden House. Familiar. Zerg Queen Upgrade Requirements. 100 wood. 100 iron, 100 stone. Description. Your territory is just like this broken wooden house. Shabby and dilapidated. The rest of the description was filled with malice. I chose to ignore it. It's fine. At least it's a place to shelter from wind and rain. Then I took out the familiar token and summoned Iris. Over 2 meters long and more than half a meter tall, Iris's appearance immediately took up 1/5 of the territory. Plus there were several big trees inside the territory. It suddenly felt a bit cramped. I need to upgrade the territory quickly. Otherwise it will affect the Zerg's mass production. Iris, activate Zerg hive form. Receiving the order, Iris quickly expanded. In the blink of an eye, she turned into a 3x3-meter circular structure, covered in sarcoma-like growths that kept twitching, as if breathing. looking grotesque and disgusting. Centered on the hive, skin-like Zerg creep spread rapidly outward, covering more than 2 meters around in the blink of an eye. 3 small larvae crawled out of the hive, squirming slowly on the creep. I closed my eyes and received the information that appeared in my mind. I sorted through all the information quickly. The hive can hatch 10 larvae per day without any cost. Larvae can consume energy points to evolve into various Zerg units. To get more larvae, you need to spend energy points. 100 points per larva. The stronger the Zerg unit hatched, the more energy points it consumes. Bronze rank 1 requires 100 energy points. Rank 2 requires 200 points, and so on. Silver rank 1 already requires 2100 energy points. I need to collect various resources: wood, iron ore, stone, and most importantly, flesh and blood conversion. This is why the Zerg grow stronger the more they fight, and can feed on war. The Zerg can continuously recycle the corpses of allies and enemies. To hatch new Zerg warriors, I started with 100 energy points, which is just enough to hatch a bronze rank 1 giant jawworker ant, to collect resources for me, saving me from having to pick up stones and wood manually. I wonder what the conversion rate of these resources to energy points is. Iris, hatch 1 giant jawworker ant. At this moment, in the Supreme Elder Council of Dragon Country's capital, 6 elderly men sat in a row, staring at the light screen in front of them, which displayed the trial rankings of the Lord's Origin realm. The trial had just begun, but 2 people had already made it onto the rankings. Elder Zhang's granddaughter, Wang Chukshui, her initial familiar is a dragon of Monarch rank 3, right? She slayed an alien beast as soon as she entered the trial, and earned 100 points. Truly a gifted genius, a promising future ahead. Liu Yanran from the Liu family is also impressive. Her territory has already reached bronze rank 2, a dwarf familiar of Monarch rank 1, truly skilled at construction. Who is this Li Hao? He actually slayed an alien beast too, and made it onto the rankings. The elders stroked their beards, staring at the newly ranked person in surprise. They knew the first 2, but had never heard of Li Hao before. In the next moment, Li Hao's information was pulled up, and the elders nodded in satisfaction one after another. A gold rank 3 griffin, and a platinum rank 2 holy angel. Dragon Country is truly blessed with talented people this year. Elder Ear's words made the other elders nod in agreement. Only Elder Da remained expressionless, not saying a single word from start to finish. After they quieted down, Elder Da finally spoke in a deep voice. Everyone must not forget, after this year's trial ends in Jiaopenji Country, there will be dozens of geniuses with over 50,000 points. Amelia Country even has more than 20. I heard one of them this year. Contracted a mythic-grade familiar demon, earned 300,000 points in a month, and topped the Lord's Origin realm. Comparing our trial rankings to theirs, Dragon Country has been in a state of generational gap these years. On the outer domain battlefield, Dragon Country faces the fiercest attacks. If this continues, there will be big trouble. As soon as he said that, the atmosphere in the room suddenly turned quiet. The other 5 elders also thought about Dragon Country's crisis, and their expressions turned solemn. Let's continue watching. Until the trial ends, no one can be sure how many geniuses there are. First, let's see how many people can stand out in the alien beast siege in 7 days. The outcome is not decided yet. Dark horses may yet emerge. Elder Da closed his eyes and said no more. The other 5 elders also lost their mood, only quietly watching the trial rankings update continuously. If no high-potential lords are born this year, the surrounding countries will surely pressure Dragon Country, trying every means to take a bite out of us. Here we go, I sat under a tree, watching the giant jawworker ants transport resources to the hive leisurely, in just 1 hour. The energy points reached 100. Iris, hatch another bronze rank 1 giant jawworker ant. As the order was given, a larva squirming on the creep turned into a cocoon. After a short while, the cocoon broke open, and the larva had transformed into a half-meter-long giant jawworker ant. The evolved giant jawworker ant didn't need another order, and immediately started collecting resources around the hive. With 2 worker ants collecting together, the speed of energy point accumulation doubled directly. It took only half an hour to collect 100 energy points. At the same time, there were no more resources left within 3 meters of the hive, and the creep had spread to a 3-meter radius. Hatch another giant jawworker ant. I didn't hesitate, and gave the order again. The last larva turned into a cocoon. A few seconds later, the cocoon hatched, becoming another giant jawworker ant, with 3 giant jawworker ants collecting together. The speed of energy point accumulation increased again. Soon after, 3 more larvae crawled out of the hive. I evolved all of them into giant jaw worker ants. The top priority now is to obtain as many resources as possible before the newbie protection period ends. In just one morning, I had hatched all 10 larvae into giant jaw worker ants. All vegetation and stones within the territory had been collected completely, leaving only the dilapidated wooden house standing on the creep. The hive still had 650 energy points left. 3 more larvae have arrived. Hatched 2 bronze rank 1 shadow mantises and 1 hydralisk. As my order fell, 3 larvae crawled out of the hive and formed cocoons as soon as they crawled out. A few seconds later, 2 cocoons broke open. 2 half-meter-tall shadow mantises with transparent wings on their backs and sharp scythes glowing with cold light were hatched. Familiar, shadow mantis race, Zerg.
Talent, gold rank. 2. Strength, bronze rank 1. Skills, continuous slash.
Shadow Strike Sharp Blade. Familiar, hydraulic race, Zerg talent, gold rank 2 strength. Bronze rank 1 skills, spine breath. Poisonous spine. Spine regeneration. I nodded repeatedly in satisfaction. Split the giant jaw worker ants into 2 teams. Each team paired with 1 shadow mantis for protection, and the hydralisk to cover from behind. Don't send all collected wood, iron, and stone to the hive. Bring them all to me. There are no more resources in the territory. I hatched 3 combat Zerg units, precisely to go out and collect resources. Now I need to upgrade the territory. Only when the territory is upgraded can the newbie protection shield be large enough to allow me to develop steadily. Receiving the order, the Zerg units immediately set out. The giant jaw worker ants split into 2 teams of 5. The 2 shadow mantises also split up and turned invisible. Following behind each team, the hydralisk wriggled its body and followed slowly between the 2 teams. Soon after, the 13 Zerg units walked out of the territory and started collecting wood, iron, and stone. Stack after stack of wood, iron, and stone were brought back to the territory, piled up in front of me. Before long, the amount of wood and stone reached to 150, exceeding the requirements for upgrading the territory. Only the iron was at 50, more than 100 less than the other 2. It seems there are no iron mines around here. I need to expand the territory quickly. The newbie protection period ends tomorrow, and I don't know what kind of monsters will attack. I was stroking my chin and thinking, when I suddenly felt a thrill in my heart, connecting to the Zerg hive mind. The shadow mantis's perspective appeared in front of me. I saw 2 strong green-skinned goblins, holding carrion, sneaking closer. The giant jaw worker ants obviously took them as prey. Goblin strength, bronze rank 2. Quality, silver. Rank 8 skills, chop, battle roar, cannot evolve. Sure enough, goblins aren't even worthy of evolving. Kill them directly. I gave the order through the Zerg hive mind. The next moment after receiving the order, 2 cold lights flashed. The shadow mantises swung their scythes, and the 2 goblins fell to the ground dead instantly. Bronze rank 1 instantly killing 2 bronze rank 2s, truly worthy of being shadow mantises. Strike at the right moment, a sure kill. Send these 2 corpses to the conversion pool. Gain 280 energy points. A bronze rank 2 corpse can be converted into 100 energy points. Hatching a bronze rank 2, Zerg requires 200 energy points, which is equivalent to half the cost. This means we can recover half the energy points from fallen Zerg warriors, too. Without hesitation, I spent 200 energy points to hatch another giant jaw worker ant. The top priority is to upgrade the territory as soon as possible, to deal with the alien beast siege in 7 days. With 2 shadow mantises and 1 hydralisk now, it's completely sufficient for defense. An hour later, the amount of iron ore also exceeded 100. Lord Core, upgrade the territory. As I gave the order, 100 units of wood, iron, and stone disappeared from the ground instantly. The Lord Core in the wooden house began to rotate rapidly, and the newbie protection shield expanded quickly, expanding to 20 meters in no time. Lord Chenluo, territory level, bronze rank 2. Buildings, dilapidated wooden house, city wall. Constructible, summoning platform. Familiar Zerg Queen. Upgrade requirements, 200 wood, 200 iron ore, 100 stone, city wall, and summoning platform. I clicked on the 2 newly added buildings. To check their construction requirements, city wall 50, wood 50 iron ore, 50 stone. Summoning platform, 100 wood, 100 iron ore, 100 stone. Construct summoning platform. As white light flashed, a summoning platform made of wood, iron, and stone appeared in front of me. Summoning platform level, primary can summon. Familiar Zerg Queen. Requirements for summoning Zerg Queen. 1 Lord Core or Monster Core, 10 tons of flesh and blood. Summoning platform upgrade requirements, 1,000 wood, 1,000 iron ore, 1,000 stone. After upgrading, summoning familiar costs are reduced by 10%. Sure enough, cheap things are no good. Who told me summoning Zerg is low cost? This requires a Lord Core or a Monster Core. Monsters only produce cores when they reach gold rank, and 1 core can only summon 1 Zerg Queen. This is called low cost. Failed to summon another Zerg Queen. I wasn't too disappointed. 1 Zerg Queen is enough to mass produce Zerg units infinitely. Having more would just speed up the mass production a bit. Right now, we don't have that many resources for mass production anyway. Continue collecting wood, iron, and stone, and keep a close eye on the surroundings at all times. Kill any creature you encounter, no exceptions. After giving the order, I entered the dilapidated wooden house to cultivate. The 11 giant jawworker ants collected resources tirelessly. The hydralisk stood in front of the territory, straightening its body and monitoring the surroundings constantly. The 2 shadow mantises hid invisibly, ready to deliver a fatal blow to any intruders at any time. The morning passed quickly. By noon, I was woken up by movements in the Zerg hive mind. We're under monster attack. I could feel it. 2 giant jawworker ants and 1 shadow mantis had died. I hurried out of the small wooden house and saw mountains of wood, iron, and stone, covering 2/3 of the 20-meter radius territory. It was almost piling up to the wooden house. I didn't have time to check these, and quickly recalled all Zerg units. Soon 9 giant jawworker ants dragged 5 goblin corpses, along with the bodies of the fallen. Giant jawworker ant and shadow mantis, back to the territory. Following behind them were the wounded hydralisk and shadow mantis. Did you attack a goblin tribe? 5 goblins in total. The worry in my heart disappeared instantly. I thought we'd encountered some powerful monsters. Turns out the shadow mantis traded 1 for 5 and got a pentakill. Send all the corpses to the conversion pool. After giving the order, I checked the amounts of wood, iron, and stone. Wood 1,470, iron ore 1,101, stone 1,635. I knew the Zerg were capable, but collecting so many resources in just one morning, they're even more capable than I imagined. Keep 100 units each of wood, iron, and stone. Use all other resources to upgrade the territory. Lord Chenluo. Territory level, bronze rank, 5. Buildings, dilapidated wooden house. City wall. Summoning platform familiar, Zerg Queen upgrade requirements, 500 wood, 500 iron ore, 500 stone. As the Lord Core upgraded, the range of the newbie protection shield expanded again, reaching a diameter of 50 meters in the blink of an eye. I didn't stop there, and chose to build the city wall. Another 50 units each of wood, iron, and stone disappeared. In the next moment, a half-meter-tall bamboo fence rose up inside the light shield. I stared at the bamboo fence in silence. This thing is the city wall? Isn't it just something used to keep chickens and ducks out of vegetable gardens? City wall level, bronze rank 1. Durability, 10/10, upgrade requirements, 100 wood. 100 iron ore, 100 stone. Description, don't underestimate me just because I look like this. I can withstand 10 attacks from bronze rank 1 monsters. I didn't pay any more attention to the city wall, no matter what it looks like. As long as it works, it's good enough. I walked to the hive to check the energy points, which had already reached 780. We had 80 energy points left earlier, recovered 150 from the 3 fallen Zerg, and got 550 energy points from the 5 goblin corpses. That means, among them, there was 1 goblin with bronze rank 3 strength. A bronze rank 1 shadow mantis traded 1 for 5, killing 4 bronze rank 2s and 1 bronze rank 3 goblin. Truly worthy of being a shadow mantis. Inheriting Elena's gold rank 2 talent. It's definitely powerful. I stuffed some stones and wood into the conversion pool, and the energy points reached 800. Hatched 2 shadow mantises and 2 giant jawworker ants. As the order was given, 4 larvae squirmed out of the hive, formed cocoons, hatched, and transformed into adult Zerg, all in one smooth motion. A few seconds later, 2 shadow mantises and 2 giant jawworker ants appeared in front of me. The previously wounded shadow mantis and hydralisk had fully recovered. After drinking the nutrient solution from the hive, in half a day I already had 11 giant jawworker ants, 3 shadow mantises, and 1 hydralisk. Prioritize collecting resources outside the territory. Shadow mantises provide invisible protection. Hydraulisk provides fire support at any time.
Go, my little bug army!
Receiving the order, the Zerg units didn't stop for a moment. Scurrying out of the territory on their little legs, batch after batch of resources were collected and brought back. I sat in the wooden house, watching the resources pile up leisurely. The Zerg are the best. They don't need to eat or drink. If seriously injured or exhausted, a sip of nutrient solution is enough to recover. The energy points consumed for hatching are also manageable. As their lord, I benefit too. When I'm hungry, I just drink a sip of the hive's nutrient solution. It has no taste, but it keeps me full for a whole day. For the rest of the time, I use the Zerg. Hive mind to see the outside world through the shadow mantis's eyes. This lord life is truly comfortable. In the office of the Supreme Elder Council, the atmosphere was eerily silent. Staring at the ranking list, the elders were all stunned. Hasn't the Lord's Origin Realm trial only just started for 4 hours? How is this person already at rank 5 territory? That little girl from the Liu family has a dwarf familiar that's good at construction. And she's only at rank 3 territory now. How did this guy get to rank 5? Gold rank 2 Zerg Queen. What kind of familiar is this? I've never heard of it before. That person from Linjiang City with the Holy Angel familiar is also from Linjiang City, right? The elders chatted among themselves, but their eyes never left the ranking list. Rank Win Chenluo, Bronze rank 5 Lord, won 300 points. Rank 2, Wang Chuxue, Bronze rank 2 Lord, 100 points rank 3. Yu Qingqing Bronze rank 3 Lord, 700 points rank 4. Li Hao Bronze rank 2 Lord, 500 points killing a Bronze rank 1 gives 100 points. Bronze rank 2 gives 200, and so on. Each territory upgrade gives 100 points. Chenlo's rank 5 territory and won 300 points. Mean he must have killed at least 8 Bronze rank 1 monsters. It's only the beginning of the trial. Most lords only have one initial familiar, and no resources to summon new ones. Being able to kill 8 monsters and upgrade the territory to rank 5 is simply a fantasy. Even these elders who had seen countless great things could barely believe it. A gold rank 2 Zerg Queen is truly an unheard of familiar. Unfortunately, its talent is too poor, so its future achievements will be limited. Let's keep watching. Maybe he just got lucky and happened to encounter monsters that were already fighting each other. Picking up the pieces, Elder Da closed his eyes and said no more. The other elders nodded in agreement when they heard this. Other than this possibility, there was no other way to explain this situation. With only one familiar, how could he kill 8 monsters and gather enough resources to upgrade the territory to rank 5? Unless this familiar can split infinitely. But such an overpowered ability isn't even possible for mythic-grade familiars, let alone a gold rank 2 one. Other than getting lucky and picking up kills, they couldn't think of any other explanation. In the Lord's Origin Realm, in a desert area, Elena stood tall in the sky and retracted her holy sword with a cold expression. Li Hao on the griffin clapped repeatedly, truly worthy of a platinum-grade familiar. Holy Angel! At bronze rank 1, you can already slash a bronze rank 2 monster with one sword. Kill one more bronze rank 2, and your strength should upgrade. Elena didn't reply, only nodded coldly. Li Hao wasn't angry either. Instead, he laughed even more arrogantly. That Chenlo is truly blind to true value. What does he think a platinum-grade familiar is? Right now, he's probably hugging those disgusting bugs and cowering in his territory, trembling with fear. And Su Yan, that ungrateful woman, must be regretting rejecting me now. These words made a faint smile curl at Elena's lips. Keep looking for monsters. Find bronze rank 3 ones. Strive to level up in one go. On the island, a pitch-black giant dragon streaked across the forest, breathing dragon breath from its mouth. The 2 bronze rank 3 monkey monsters below were instantly annihilated. Finally caught up. These monkeys are really fast runners. They stole my food before. I couldn't beat you then, and I didn't argue with you. But that was then. This is now. Now Lena and I are terrifyingly strong. Wang Chuxui sat on the dragon's back, beaming with pride despite her flat chest. At 1.5 meters tall, her knee-length blue dress made her look delicate and cute, completely mismatched with the ferocious 8-meter-long giant dragon beneath her. Dig and dig and dig on the big grassland. Dig big iron ore. Build a small home. Brothers, work hard, keep going. Building the territory is everyone's responsibility. Lu Qingqing waved her snow-white arms, cheering on the 2 dwarves. The two dwarves swung their pickaxes in time with her chant, mining the iron ore underground. Before long, a fist-sized piece of iron ore was dug out.
You brothers are awesome!
We'll add chicken legs for dinner tonight. Hearing chicken legs, the two dwarves dug even harder, putting all their strength into each swing, as if they had a deep grudge against the land. In just one afternoon, the resources are overflowing again. This is truly a happy dilemma. Looking at the piles of wood, iron, and stone filling the territory, I couldn't stop smiling. Wood, 4,200, stone, 5,300, iron ore, 3,500. The gains from 5 hours are so much that even my rank 5 territory can barely hold them. So I didn't hesitate to upgrade the territory. Lord Chenluo's territory level, bronze rank 10. Buildings, dilapidated wooden house, city wall, summoning platform, arrow tower. Upgrade requirements, 1,000 wood, 1,000 iron ore, 1,000 stone. A bronze rank 5 territory with abundant resources. Instantly jump to bronze rank 10. Leveling up 5 ranks in a row. To upgrade to silver rank 1. Do I need a silver core? It seems I need to reinforce my combat power and hunt silver grade monsters through feeding on war. Monsters condense silver cores when they reach silver rank, and their cores transform into gold cores when they reach gold rank. To obtain a silver core, I have to hunt silver grade monsters. With my current combat power, this is extremely difficult, but I'm not in a hurry at all. Now that the territory upgrade has hit a bottleneck, I can convert all resources into energy points. The more energy points I have, the stronger the Zerg I hatch. The maximum rank is gold rank 2, same as the Zerg Queen. Save up 2,200 energy points, and directly hatch a gold rank 2 Zerg. Then I can walk sideways in this realm. This is the power of the Zerg that can unleash a natural disaster. With enough energy points, even forming an army of gold rank 2 Zerg would be no problem. On the first day of the trial, having a familiar with gold rank 2 strength. What chance do the others have? They might as well line up on the rooftop and give up. Put all resources into the conversion pool. Continue collecting resources. Kill any creature you encounter. After I gave the order, the Zerg immediately sprang into action. All remaining wood, iron, and stone were put into the conversion pool. The energy points instantly reached 2,010. I hatched another giant jaw worker ant. To join the collection work, the more giant jaw worker ants I have, the faster I gather resources, which means the faster I gain energy points. This is a virtuous cycle. 12. Giant jaw worker ants worked diligently to collect resources, protected by the shadow mantises and hydralisk. Wherever they passed, it was like a swarm of locusts, leaving nothing behind. Not even a single stone remained. Every time I reach 200 energy points, I hatch another giant jaw worker ant. In just 1 hour, I hatched 3 more giant jaw worker ants, further expanding the collection army. By 8 o'clock in the evening, the number of giant jaw worker ants had reached 25. Now, we can collect enough resources for 100 energy points per hour, which means every hour, I can hatch one silver rank 1 Zerg warrior. I nodded in satisfaction. Perfect. Now I have enough energy points every 2 hours to hatch one. Gold rank 2 Zerg warrior. First, hatch 2 Zerg warriors as a foundation. Then continue hatching giant jaw worker ants to quickly collect surrounding resources. For this Lord's Origin Realm trial, my goal is clear. Form a Zerg army of over 100 units, all with gold rank 2 strength, focusing on both overwhelming strength and numbers. With an army of this caliber, when I go to train in the outer domain battlefield, I'll have enough sense of security.